First story is titled, Am I the a-hole? I found out my sister is pretending to be my daughter's mother. When my 27 female fiancé and I first announced my pregnancy to my family, my sister, 34 female, was a little jealous. I'm assuming it's because she was trying for a baby with her ex-partner, but they broke up because he was a cheat. I gave birth to my daughter 7 months ago. Her name is Kaya. When I returned to work after 12 weeks of maternity leave, my sister offered to babysit Kaya once a week, which has been incredibly helpful. Not too long ago, one of my close friends who also recently had a child approached me to tell me that my sister is in a mother's group on Facebook, and she's posting photos of Kaya and she's calling my daughter hers, and she's also calling her by a different name. My friend sent me screenshots of my sister's posts and I was completely disturbed. So I spoke to my fiancé and we both decided we had to take an action immediately. I went over to my sister's and asked her directly about what she was posting on Facebook. She did not deny it and also had no explanation. Therefore, I told her that she's banned from seeing my daughter. My sister flipped out and said that I can take Kaya away from her, and then called me a selfish witch, and she started crying. I have never seen my sister act this way before. It was alarming. I asked her if there's anything else I need to know because she may as well just spill everything. So she shows me a framed photo she has in her bedroom of her and my daughter, and on the frame is written mother and daughter. I am not going to lie. I did call her crazy, and then I left and haven't spoken to her since, although she continues to try and come over and calls me multiple times a day. My mind is an absolute mess. I don't know where we go from here. Am I the a-hole for how I handle the situation? Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole at all. You need to protect your daughter. Your sister needs some serious help. What she is doing is not healthy at all. You could try telling her that she can see your daughter only after she gets into therapy. And I'd also have a chat with her parents too. This sounds incredibly unhealthy and problematic, and can get only worse if left untreated. Not the a-hole. Absolutely. Get your kid and yourself away from her. Sounds like she has some deep, unresolved issues that only a specialist can help her with. Trying to live out her motherhood fantasy through her sister's child. Some people are just bent on being mothers at any cost. Not the a-hole, but it sounds like your sister has some serious psychological issues and needs professional help ASAP. It will probably be safer for everyone to keep your daughter away from her, and you may want to install a home security system as well as inform any other caregivers that your sister does not have privileges regarding being around her. This type of thing is a huge red flag for mental health issues. If you can, you may want to encourage her to get help. Not the a-hole. Agreed with the above poster. OP's sister is screaming for mental health help here. The framed picture, the name change, it's all way too much to say it's just a face. You're absolutely right for avoiding any interaction between your child and your sister, OP. I strongly recommend having a discussion to get her help, especially since you mentioned she's never behaved like this before. Now for the next story. Updated. Am I the a-hole for getting mad at my older sister for asking my daughter to call her mom? My older sister is childless because she unfortunately unable to have children. She volunteers to babysit my 3-year-old daughter all the time. Well, I came home last night with my husband. My daughter and sister were watching a movie in the living room and didn't hear us when we came in. We went in the kitchen to put some stuff away, and I ended up overhearing my daughter asking my sister for something to drink, saying, "Auntie Kay, can you give me a drink please?" And my sister replies with, "Only if you call me mom." I was really upset. I told my husband to get our daughter ready for bed, and once she left the room, I started telling my sister off for trying to get my daughter to refer to her as mom, and told her she won't be babysitting my daughter anymore. My husband thinks I overreacted, and that my pregnancy hormones are getting the best of me. He thinks I should apologize, and thinks even if it does mean more than that, it's probably just my sister still grieving over being infertile. Am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments before reading the update. Not the a-hole. WTF. She might still be grieving, but she was way out of line. Some of these you only need to read a title to make a decision. This is one. She needs a therapist ASAP. Did you ask for her reason, Soapy? She stated in an earlier comment that the sister just stared at her and refused to speak. The husband needs to watch the hand that rocked the cradle. Not the a-hole. Someone's emotions don't give license to behave so incredibly inappropriately. This is not your hormones. Her grief is unfortunate, but not an excuse. What she did was incredibly out of line. Excusing it, justifying it, ignoring it could lead to it being worse. If she's struggling that much, she needs help from a therapist. You have nothing to apologize for. Not the a-hole. Sounds like your sister was playing family with your daughter and your husband where she was the mom. Something seems really off if your husband can't see why it's wrong and defends her. Yeah, I have a feeling she should probably keep a close eye on her husband. Do you really think so? I mean, after I asked my sister to leave, she sat in her car in the driveway. When I noticed she was still in the driveway, I made a comment to my husband about it and he said he'll ask her to leave. He ended up staying outside, sitting in the passenger seat of the car for about half an hour. I don't know what they were doing in there, but when he came back in, he just told me she was really upset and he was just comforting her. How are you doing? Do you have an update on your situation? Yes, I spoke to my husband and it didn't go too well. When I brought up how I didn't appreciate him undermining my concerns about my sister's actions, he didn't really want to talk about it and kept on telling me he doesn't see a point in continuing just a trivial conversation. And when I asked him why he was in the car for so long with my sister, all he would say was that he was comforting her. When I asked about the details of the conversation, he'd avoid the question, telling me that I'm overreacting. I really thought that the best action for me would be talking to my husband, but it made my concerns worse. I texted my sister saying that we need to have a completely honest heart-to-heart conversation. She agreed, and she came to my house the next morning when my husband was at work. My sister apologized to me and admitted that ever since I got married and pregnant, she became extremely jealous because she always wanted a family and she felt as she'd never get one. She started crying, barely even able to get a sentence out, and told me that she did something terrible and that she doesn't want me to hate her. It took her a while to get it out, but she ended confessing that she'd been having an affair with my husband. She told me that when I go to my in-laws' house to help my father-in-law with my mother-in-law, she has Alzheimer's, that they'd see each other when he came home from work, and ended developing a romantic relationship. That they flirted before that, but nothing serious, and that she started imagining herself as my daughter's mom, and even started picturing herself as pregnant. Sorry, I'm really tired while writing this, and haven't really had a good night's rest for a while. I'm so sorry. What they both have done is unforgivable, and my heart just broke for you. I would recommend, discreetly, contacting your state bar association for referral to the top 3 divorce attorneys and go have a consultation with each of them. Find out what your situation would be if you pursue divorce. Go ahead and put someone on retainer and prepare for a divorce. Thank you for the advice. I am 7 months pregnant and I do have a younger sister and an older brother who would be willing to help. I am a registered nurse, just currently not working, but could definitely go back to working. I haven't yet confronted my husband, and I don't think my sister told him she confessed. I'm just in shock and confused. I really thought he'd be someone I'd spend the rest of my life with. Now I'm having a hard time even being in the same room as him. I just don't even know what to say to him or how he'd react. I just feel super emotional over this whole situation. My husband knows something is up, and I know I'm gonna talk to him about it soon. I do plan to talk to a lawyer. Now for the last story. My sister demanded we share my daughter. Okay, so this happened a few years ago, but I remember it like it was yesterday, and to be honest, still can't understand what my sister was thinking. A little backstory. My sister and I had to share everything as kids. Not to mention, I was forced to be her and our younger brother's second mother, but I'll put that in a different post. For some of my childhood, I was happy to share things with my sister. Sweets, snacks, toys, the normal kid things. There's 4 years between us. I'm the oldest, and as you can probably guess, when I reached my teen years, I wanted my own things and spend time alone. Nope, she wanted me to do everything with her. I could barely spend 10 minutes in the bathroom before she would start banging on the door. Unfortunately, when I was around 15, my siblings and I were taken into foster care. We were separated from our brother, which was difficult for both of us. And for a while, I didn't mind my sister wanting to spend all her time with me. Shortly after my 16th birthday, I wanted to have my own space and things that are, well, mine. She would argue with me over not sharing my stuff, and of course, typical sibling fights and yelling happened almost every other day. We sort of grew out of our sibling squabbles over the years, but she kinda developed a the whole world owes me attitude, which drove me crazy. I did my best to hold in my frustrations, but I'm human, and sometimes I kinda snapped. A couple years after my daughter was born, my sister and I weren't really talking much because of her selfish attitude towards me. I spent most of my time and income on my daughter. During one of the times we were in good terms, she was over for the weekend and everything was okay. Until a conversation led to her telling me she was going to take my daughter for a week because she wanted to spend time with her because it was her turn. I said, not gonna happen. She is my daughter, not a dollar pet we share. She gets mad and starts yelling. I told her to leave, and she argues how she had parental rights and social services will force me to allow her to take my daughter whenever she wants. I laughed, told her to get out and don't come back. Honestly, I don't know if she seriously thought that it was her right to have my daughter. Now for the top comments. Sweet jumping daffodils. What is wrong with her? Not gonna lie, I've lost count. Your sister sounds like my mom's younger sister, who would sometimes tell people she was my mother. Wait, what? She wants to share a kid like a doll? How old was she? I have so many questions. Early 20s. Soon found out she was experimenting with these for a while, so... Maybe you should ask for child support if she wants visitation? Glad to hear she's out of the picture. If she ever pulls that crap again, tell her she needs to pay it forward. That being a parent isn't a week here or there. She owes you X amount of dollars, as you have put that much into raising your daughter, and she owes you X hours of free labor, because that's also part of being a parent. Also, she needs to get vomited and pooped on. She has parental rights, lol. Where do these people come from? Don't worry, I finally cut her out of my life and my daughter's life years ago. She tries getting in touch, but I keep telling her to leave us be. Let's just say she became very toxic over the years. And that's the end of this video, folks. As always, leave a comment and hit like and subscribe. And if you want more of this content, turn your notification on to get updated on the latest videos. And I'll catch you with the next one. Stay safe.